Welcome back. Well, a shortage of pilots in the United States is limiting the number of flights that airlines can operate, causing delays and cancellations during peak travel periods. Several major airlines are now partnering with flight schools or starting their own training programs to create a more diverse team of future pilots.
Airlines have complained about a shortage for several years, made worse during the pandemic when pilots were encouraged to take early retirement as air travel collapsed in 2020. Airlines have been in a hiring frenzy ever since, and that is likely to continue for several years as the carriers replace pilots who reach the U.S. federal mandatory retirement age of 65. Several U.S. airlines have started their own training programs or partnered with flight schools to ensure a pipeline of future pilots that would be more diverse, as fewer than 4% of current airline pilots are African American, and fewer than 5% are women.
I thought it was definitely the best time to enter the field, and also with United and their push to bring in more women and people of color and diversify the flight deck. It was really a perfect opportunity and the perfect time, I think, for me to make that career change and start something new.
Tuition for flying schools and the cost of flight time are not cheap. Reaching 1,500 hours of required flight time is often estimated to cost between $70,000 to $100,000 US. The lack of pilots contributed to a 52% increase in flight cancellations in the U.S. last year, compared with 2021. The shortage is giving pilot unions leverage in contract negotiations that were paused by the onset of the pandemic. New contracts are certain to include hefty pay raises that will drive up the cost for airlines. Over the past decade or two, industry officials warned that a pilot shortage was coming as travel boomed, and thousands of U.S. pilots approached mandatory retirement age. The Federal Aviation Administration raised that age from 60 to 65 in 2007. Which pushed the problem off for a few years but not fix it. The pilot shortage is most severe at smaller carriers that don't pay as well as the bigger ones. And they often serve as stepping stones to the big airlines. One regional airline, SkyWest, dropped more than 24 cities from its routes because it lacked pilots.
They don't have as many pilots as they need, and they will continue to have to hire thousands of pilots in 2023 as well and into 2024. So while I think we are through the worst of the pilot shortage crunch, we are nowhere near the end of it.
If a pilot calls in sick, often there is no one immediately available to replace them, and that is leaving tens of thousands of travelers stranded. The U.S. government estimates that there will be about 18,000 openings for airlines and commercial pilots per year this decade, with many of those replacing retirees.